eager to get in the corner with him with that right-hand cut.
Chandler continues to taunt at Cortez, although I'm not sure that Cortez understands what Chandler's saying. Up to round 5, Jeff Chandler in the red, Hector Cortez in the blue. Marv Albert with the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco. We are live from Atlantic City, New Jersey on NBC Sports World. It's a little different pace than we saw in our ringside card. Earl the Pearl Hargrove and Don King going at it.
To say nothing of last week's wonderful fight between Chacon and Boza Edwards.
Oh, good combination by Chandler.
I think Jeff Chandler's beginning to solve the very tall style of Hector Cortez. It seemed to bother him in the first 2 or 3 rounds.
And here's Chandler with a message for Cortez, winding up for the bolo punch route.
That's something that Chandler has layered in the last several fights, that hot dog that he never used to have before.
We saw it against Dancing Machine Carter. We saw it against Eddie Arte.
Cortez's eye continuing to puff up a little bit more each round. They're applying ice to it quite correctly and controlling it well. Cortez seems to have lost a little bit of his offensive fervor of the first 2 or 3 rounds. More content now to let Jeff Chandler lead the way.
And less than a minute left in this 5th round, scheduled for 10. And again, some hot dogging by Chandler, loading up on the right.
He's beginning to intimidate Hector Cortez. I don't think Cortez knows what to make of all this.
And the intimidating factor carried at the end of round 4, where Cortez made a friendly gesture in the direction of Chandler, who would have no part of it. Continued his stare. So we're final seconds, round 5.
When it's time to change.
A look at the right eye of Hector Cortez. This is round 6. Cortez in the blue. Jeff Chandler in the red. Cortez, the tallest man that Chandler has ever fought. Cortez at 5'9", and Chandler, who is tall for a bantamweight, at 5'7". Good combination that rocked Cortez.
Chandler opening up as he usually does when he gets around to round 6.
And a good opening for Jeff Chandler. And in the corner of Jeff Chandler, that is Becky O'Neill, the co-manager, along with husband Willie, of the bantamweight champion, Jeff Chandler. It's been a calm fight thus far for Becky O'Neill.
She hasn't had too much to worry about. Hector Cortez's eye is not getting any worse. Understandably not getting any better either, but has not progressed to closing yet.
Holding and hitting by Chandler. Cortez was able to counter. Cortez went down twice. Both flash knockdowns in the first and then the second round. It appeared that Chandler hurt his right hand with that second knockdown, but according to the corner of Chandler, he's fine.
Well, he certainly is. He is shooting it out without any regard for it now. For a round or 2, he held it back. What is that gesture? Is that me, Tarzan, you, Jane? What is that? He seems to pound his chest after lifting his right hand.
All right, break. Take a little out.
There it is again as he flashes the right hand and digs it to the body of Cortez. Holding and hitting now by Cortez.
Cortez getting rough in there. That just makes him mad. Makes Chandler mad.
Cortez attempting to slip it.
Oh, they're bumping heads in there. That could really be disastrous for Jeff Chandler. He doesn't need to get cut.
Referee Joe Cortez says cut out the holding and hitting.
Cortez willing to mix it up with Jeff Chandler.
That'll wrap it for the 6th round. And what change tactics? This time it's Cortez doing it to Chandler, who was able to counter with the left hand. And now set for round 7.
Chandler's got his get down to business face on. He assumes a different impression when he goes hunting. Last 2 rounds, he's been getting stronger and stronger.
Jeff Chandler, record of 30-0, 2 draws, 16 by knockout. Most of the knockouts later in his career. He's 26 years old, out of Philadelphia. The WBA bantamweight champion, stepping up in class. This is a super bantamweight bout, so a non-title fight against 33-year-old Hector Cortez from Ecuador, now living in Los Angeles, California. And Cortez, a seasoned fighter, 43-9, 26 knockouts.
He's sure showing a lot of seasoning here. He's slipping and sliding, doing a lot of tricks, giving a lot of movement, tying up Jeff from time to time. All the moves of an old pro.
And now blood streaming down the right side of the face of Hector Cortez.
Got us opened up on that right, above the right eye of Cortez. Below it, there was a swelling. Now there's a cut over. And you're left with the thought of what a fine athlete Jeff Chandler is. And when you're talking about the advantages of boxing, what other sport could a very little man like this be considered a top athlete and earn a top dollar? He certainly couldn't pay for the Lakers.
And looking to earn more top dollars as he moves up in weight. Coming up later on here on Sports World, more of the Mixed Pairs Bodybuilding Championship. That'll be following boxing from Atlantic City. Good right hand by Chandler. And again, shaking the right, taunting Cortez.
He is just in control.
Says, hey, watch it. And that cut getting worse. Now the right eye of Cortez is Cortez. Final seconds of the 8th round after the measuring move by Chandler. He puts Cortez down 3rd time. But Cortez has gone down. He was put down by Chandler in rounds 1 and 2. And this is round 8.
Well, there's certainly nothing wrong with the right hand of Jeff Chandler. found a home on the left side of Cortez's head with that right hand.
Chandler with terrific hand speed. Power in both hands. Handles himself well inside. Fights better at a distance where his reach can be a factor, but that's not the case today against Cortez. But he's put him down 3 times.
And given him a boxing lesson en route. Well, Jeff Chandler is beginning to answer some of those questions. Oh,